had to do a bunch of content that I fucking hated. My project, I don't want anyone to touch it. I just want it to be fun for me.
Larry
So,
King was cool though.
all lyriking was very cool.
That was
That
that
was
was
cool.
that was a proud moment.
Well,
I'm
that
like, yeah.
was, I literally flew back just to do that show because at the time I was staying in Armenia with Mish. I found out that there's like the possibility of working with Larry King, and I was like, holy shit, okay, I gotta go back.
Whee!
Yeah.
I'm always um the youngest everywhere I go. My friends are older than me, people that I work with older than me, so I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm turning 25." Okay. So I started being a little bit worried about it, but I don't mind getting old. Actually, like I think I cannot wait until I'm 60 and I figured it all out and I just live.
I have to tell you, I do think that getting older, I mean, there are so many pros that come with it, and I wish I knew that at 25, because I experienced what I didn't know there was a term for this at the time, but apparently there's a thing called a quarter life crisis. When you are used to being the younger one, which I was always the youngest in my industry, and it was always like, oh, she's 17 and she's doing all of these things. She's 21 and she's doing all of these things. And then when I was 25, I just kind of hit a dead end with everything in my life.
Hmm.
I had just graduated UCLA. I had a project that I was working on for a couple of years that just like fell flat on its face. Everything just kind of came to an end for me at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I developed this anxiety that I never knew what anxiety was before. But when you're just like, okay, what's
You're
bothering
lucky.
me?
You're lucky to get to know it at 25. That's really good.
Okay, so I take it you deal with anxiety?
Oh, all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
When's the first time that you could, like, the first age that you remember being anxious?
Um, I think I was kind of a little bit anxious all my life. Not, I don't want to say anxious because it's you know, it's not just being worried about certain things. I think when I was really, really anxious, it started when I was 19, I think. Um, when I started making first steps in the career and all that, I learned what it was. So,
What triggered it? Do you remember?
oof, just the tons of responsibility at some points. I I was kind of not feeling comfortable outside of my house because I had the fear of missing out and not getting things done and all that. So I had to really, really try to get out and see my friends and not feel guilty and terrible.
So at 19, you were still in Armenia.
Yes, my hometown.
What in Vanadzor,
Yeah.
right? So what exactly were you doing? What were the first steps in your career that you actually felt this massive responsibility?
Well, I started working with Tamar, and we signed the Warner Chappell deal. And I was basically just writing songs every day, and I had to.
Wait, what is the Warner Chappell deal?
It's a publishing deal, so that was my publishing deal. And I just started writing like a crazy person because I thought that that's the only opportunity I'm ever gonna get in my life. And I mean, that was kind of true because I was from Vanadzor, and these things never happen to people like me. So I just felt very um, confused and lost and happy and all the good and the bad all together. So I didn't have time to go out and have fun. I was just trying to figure out the career thing.
So these things don't happen to people from Vanadzor,
Mm-mm.
and yet you're still dreaming of something bigger at the time.
Oh yeah, I was always dreaming of the stadiums. I never dreamt of like it's funny because um I never wanted like a normal path, you know? I think everyone just wants to be on the top all of a sudden. And what's really fun is that I thought that, well, in this kind of era with social media and everything, that doesn't happen. really. You know, you have to make all the steps to get somewhere. You know, you can't just be Beatles and like be famous like all of a sudden. Obviously, it, it seems like it happened all of a sudden, but there's a lot of hard work behind it. But I always thought that, well, I'm going to start from here and then here and then here and then go there and get there. And that's not what happened. My first tour was in the stadiums.
Which, wow, that
Yeah,
that never happens.
never happens. I mean, opening for Ed Sheeran was like a a dream come true that I actually didn't know that I had a dream like that. You know, you never dream of the specific things.
Hmm.
Um, like I never had a dream of being on Late Late Show, but when I was there, I was like, oh my god, like
I
this is a
remember
dream
the
come true, and I had
internet.
no idea that I wanted it.
Yeah, the internet went wild. You were all over my feed. Everybody was posting about it. And then the fact that you had so many Armenian elements in
Mm.
your performance, everyone was so excited that you actually showed a piece of our culture during your performance.
Um, we just thought it was kind of the combination of me being tired of the version that I sang for a million times already,
Yeah.
and there was an opportunity to show the Armenian culture on that platform, which I think never done before again. And I like to be the first everywhere. So it was really nice, and a really good friend of mine who arranged that version of Snap. He's also the drummer in there. He did a wonderful arrangement of Snap, and I actually used it a few times after that. And it was fresh for me. Like I was really, really tired by that time of Snap, obviously.
How many times do you think you've performed that song?
No, I don't know. I think countless because um we we kept recutting vocals for Snap for days um over the years actually, because I wrote that song in 2018 and we only released it in 2022 for Eurovision. So before I was already before it even got released, I was already over it. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I don't know, countless times. But we actually ended up using the demo vocals because it had something special in it that I couldn't copy. Um, and yeah,
So it's interesting. I heard you say that in a different interview that you used the demo version because it just sounded so much more authentic. And
yeah,
then the different ways that you guys tried to produce it, it just felt manufactured. It didn't feel as authentic.
yeah. We also tried to reproduce it, make it a bit more poppy, make it a bit more Eurovision format. God knows what that is.
Yeah.
Um, but it every version just missed something, the like kind of the spirit of the song and the feeling of it. Like I felt nothing, even though um until now when I sometimes listen to Snap, not by my choice, on the radio or whatever, or on the internet, I do hear that the feeling behind the song. And I think it's kind of incredible, I think, because even for me, um obviously I've heard the song a million times and I sang it a million times, but I still hear that special thing
Hmm.
even now. And I think it's that's probably the main reason why the song got so popular.
You placed 20th in the Eurovision Song
Mm.
Contest, right? Which is
Mm-hmm.
like the cheesiest contest, I think, to begin with. Anyway, so it doesn't mean anything. But was it like a great fuck you when you ended up having like, is it the second or first at
Well,
this
see, I
point?
was trying not to curse because I really, I really told myself, Rosa, do not do that, because I do that in English. I never swear in Armenian. Maybe sometimes in Russian among my friends, but in because I don't have a lot of words in my mind in English.
uh,
When I try to stress something, I
yeah.
always say, "Pff," you know.
Hmm.
But when I'm doing an interview, I'm like, Rosa, do not,
I did it for
don't.
you.
Yeah, thank you. Now I feel so much better. I'm still gonna try not to, because my mom's gonna watch it.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Sorry.
What was the question again? There was
Well, it was just like, was it a big FU moment to them that, like you didn't appreciate the song the way that it should have been appreciated?
I never saw it like that. I guess everyone else but me felt that, and it was very satisfying for them.
It
Um,
had to be a little satisfying for you too.
for
Come
for
on.
me, it's obviously, yeah, I'm not an angel or anything, but um, I don't I cannot blame the contest, or I cannot blame the people who voted or didn't vote. It I don't think it was the perfect or the right um song for Eurovision still. And I don't think that specifically that year it was just like a total I don't know. I don't think anyone knew what to expect. We did not expect 20th, obviously, but I don't know, maybe I didn't perform well. I haven't watched my performance. I don't
No, I think you
um
had a beautiful performance. I loved the music video.
thank
Actually,
you.
our mutual friend Armenia
Mm.
directed your music video, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I thought it was
Great
a
job.
really original, really interesting video. What I was surprised by is you guys shot a second video for the
Yes.
same song. What was
Well,
the
we
reason
did it
behind that?
here because I honestly the 2022 2023 I is such a blur in my mind for me. I think we did it because of the rights, because I signed with Columbia and
Mm.
they needed to have the rights of everything connected to Snap. And I think the music video belongs to the first one belongs to either Arm Public TV or Eurovision. So they
Oh,
wanted something to promote the song
okay.
with, and I think that that's why we did it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, um, but the second one is more mature in my opinion. I think I like myself there more. Um, but the first one is again, it's a special one.
I liked both of them. I thought they were both great, but I love there's something very childlike
Mm,
and there's like a naivete to the
yeah,
first one that I think is so special and so authentic. How did you feel when you found out you're placing 20th in the Eurovision Song
terrible.
Contest?
I don't think I ever told this before publicly. It was terrible. It was the worst uh couple of hours, I think. I mean, at some point you already know that it's not gonna end well during the results and everything. And I also had lots of champagne, and they kept bringing more and more, and I kind of I snapped. I waited until I got to my dressing room, and it was bad. But you know,
What's your
I
version of snapping? How did you snap?
oh,
What,
it was bad. It was bad. I felt
yelling,
um m-
throwing things, breaking
throwing
things?
things and throwing. I lost all of my rings. Yeah, cause I was yeah. I was really upset, and I remember I was yelling, "I'm not an artist of a 20th place. I'm not." It was bad. It was very embarrassing. I was very ashamed after that. But I think that happened not because of just the 20th place, but because I was very calm for the whole process. For like 2 or 3 months, everyone was nervous. Everyone was like, and I was like, it's gonna be fine. You know, it's fine. I was very calm and kind of professional, well, having zero experience before, and everyone was freaking out because they didn't know how I was good. Like, was I gonna, pass out right before my performance? I've never done that before. But everything was fine, and then after everything was done, I feel like it was just my, you know, and but it was bad. I cried a lot. I never cry, and I cried a lot that day.
Who do you cry to? Do you cry to your mom, to your friends? Like, who do you feel
To my mom,
comfortable?
never. I actually never done that before. Um, I find it hard. to cry ever, even when I'm alone. I have I think it's a big issue for me because sometimes I want to cry and I can't. I don't know if you feel that way. Do you
I'm a
ever?
crier.
You're a cry.
Yeah,
I'm so
mine is the
jealous.
opposite. No, it's not
Mm.
good because sometimes I'll put a lot of eye makeup on if I know that there's something, if it's a situation that I'm gonna get emotional about. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put mascara on so I could
Waterproof.
try. Yeah, no, and then it
Doesn't
just,
help.
I can't control it, and I hate that.
Oh no, I prefer to look terrible with mascara all over my face, but to be able to cry, it's not easy.
So what do you think it is? What is it, a defensive mechanism where you've kind of become conditioned to not show emotions, or?
I think it's really funny in my case because I am very like I feel a lot of things. I am very
So
emotional.
you're not a sociopath.
No,
Okay.
hopefully not. I think I can't even cry even when I'm alone because I feel weak and I don't like being weak, especially in front of my friends and my family, especially my family. No, no, no. Like it's a no-no for me. I never cry or tell them that something's wrong or anything. Um I don't know. I
Do you have
feel
like an
like
older brother that used to beat you up, or?
no, no, I had to have an older brother, but he
You do.
never beat me up. We were pretty friendly.
It's just interesting to know where some of that comes from. I was 6 years old when my family moved here from Armenia, and I distinctly remember the feeling of going to school, the first day of school. I took English classes in Armenia, but it was very different from conversational English in
Mhm.
school. And I remember that feeling of just being lost and not
Mhm.
understanding anything. Everyone's talking. I don't understand the language. The kids all kind of know how to fall in line and know what to do. They sit a certain way. They're doing roll call. They're saying things that are rehearsed. They're,
If you're hi.
I'm like,
Hello.
I felt so lost and so vulnerable, and I used to just cry going to
Mm.
school. But I hated people seeing me weak, so I just built all these walls, and it was a defensive mechanism where I just didn't want to be vulnerable because I didn't want anyone to make fun of me or to
Mhm.
pick on me in school. And so I know that that was a moment for me where, I
You
had to.
started crying.
No, see, but that's the thing. I don't cry in situations where if somebody offends me, I won't cry. If there's, a mean situation,
Yeah.
I'll cry if there's like, a sad animal video. Like
Yeah.
those are the kind of things.
I
So I'm just curious, do you remember the moment that made you go, okay, like I don't want to show my emotions to people, even to close people around me?
That's the thing. I do show my that's only with crying and I guess also when I'm angry.
Hmm.
A lot of people think that I'm chill and calm and I when I'm mad, I'm mad.
So you have a temper.
Oh, yes,
Yeah?
but no one I try not to show it to anyone cuz I don't like conflicts in general.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me anxious.
Mm.
That's what okay, I was 14 actually when I that's anxiety. I learned about anxiety when I was 14. I don't like conflicts.
You remembered something though.
Yes.
Can you share
No.
it?
um, but I just when people start crying or when people are angry, it makes me so uncomfortable. And I don't want to make the person next to me
Mm,
feel the way I feel when they're crying because I just get lost. I don't know what to do. Like when my
yeah.
friends crying or when they go through some sad times, I really want to help them, even probably maybe more than the people who are actually helping them, but I don't know how to act and I just feel awkward. Um, yeah, and I just don't like making people feel that way. So I think that's why also I don't really show the negative emotions.
Makes sense.
I'm very loving though. When I love, I show my love.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah.
So you lose your rings
Mhm.
after placing 20th. How long does that kind of enraged feeling last?
Um, maybe 4 hours. It
Mhm.
was actually funny. We were talking about Mariam, my friend. She used to work with me then. Um, and everyone was worried. I went to my room. Everyone kept just like checking on me. I didn't lock the door or anything. Mariam kept like coming in and see what I'm doing and everything. And the way she left me, it was a mess in my room. And then a couple of hours later, and she thought I was sleeping. She walks in into my room, and she told me about this. She's like everything was like packed, everything because we were leaving the next day. So I packed. I cried. I was whatever. And then I took a shower and I was like getting ready for because I think it was like 5 a.m. and I had to wake up in an hour. So I just started getting ready. I didn't go to sleep. And she was shocked. She was like, "You're ready to go." I was like, "Yeah, let's go home. I'm done." But after that, um, I was just so embarrassed to go back home because I felt like I didn't do enough, and it was my year. I think the whole kind of people in Armenia, they were happy that the song was different than usual, and they're like, oh, like we don't know this girl, she's not a superstar, and she's doing this and this and this, and I got an enormous support from people. And I didn't know how to go back home with the 20th place. And it felt like the end of the world, and it felt like I'm never gonna get another opportunity and all that and blah 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 blah. So I thought I just completely messed up and lost the opportunity. But in 2 days everything was fine and I started writing again and I kinda didn't care.
Which is what makes your story so beautiful, because that is a really hard thing to go through publicly and
Mhm.
to feel humiliated when you really shouldn't, because you did a beautiful job, but for some reason, these numbers matter. And then
Yeah.
you have numbers where they matter again when you have over 1 billion streams.
Mhm.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
So, when was the next time you felt that was your low point? When was the next time that you felt a taste of success again? Was it when this song started taking off?
Um, Again, 2022 and 2023 is a blur. Uh It was a lot to process. I remember it felt really good when I started seeing the like 2 million streams a day on my Spotify for the for artist account.
Was that shocking? Did you know what was happening?
I just wasn't freaking out or I wasn't happy or I was just kind of taking it as it's that's how it should be. And I don't want to sound like a like I'm too confident or anything. But this whole success thing, all the late late show and the Ed Sheeran tour and the billion streams and all that, I was thinking of all of these things all my life since I was a child. So and I'm a big daydreamer, so I'm more in my head in my mind than in reality. I'm like rarely present. So it felt like it was natural, you know? So I never got to really enjoy it. Um, but obviously it felt really good. Yeah, I felt like, okay, this is not the end of the world. It's right. It's how it's supposed to go. I felt relieved because I thought that something wrong happened. This wasn't the plan. And when it started streaming a lot, I was like, okay, this is now it's the way it's supposed to be.
It's interesting, right? Because that's probably what enraged you, because you knew the song's
Mhm.
potential, you knew what a lovely piece of work it is, and then you're like, hey, this is not deserving of 20th place. This should have done better. And then it finally did. It just caught up at a later time
Mhm.
than you expected.
Yeah, everything happens when it needs to happen, and my life is full of full circle moments,
Mhm.
crazy things. Um, Same with Snap, and I love telling the story about filming the Hallelujah music video. I'm a big Ozzy Osbourne fan. Love him. And when I was 15, this was without I was in a band or whatever. And I was 15, I was a metalhead and all that. Bought my first electric guitar and just like cranking up distortion all the way. Um I there was this song that Ozzy has, "Life Won't Wait for You," and that was my favorite at the time. And I was watching the music video of that song a lot. I knew it by heart, and this is when I'm 15, like 10 years ago. So like you know, Eurovision, Snap, viral, blah 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 blah. I come here, sign the deal, and all that, and we're filming Hallelujah's music video. And we go to this location. It was like a it was a church or so. I don't know where we were. Um and In his music video there is this big stained glass window, round stained glass window. When I get there, I look at that glass, at that window, and I forgot about that music video. Like I was 15 when I was watching it. And then I started yelling, "Give me a phone! Give me a phone!" Because I realized
You're Googling, where did he shoot it?
no one, the director didn't have any idea. Like no one knew I was a fan of Ozzy. Like we were just filming, whatever.
Yeah.
I look at that music video, and we were doing the same shot, and I started freaking out. And I posted about it, and I think Sharon, his wife, reposted it, and it was like, you know, but that was insane. Like how crazy.
Yeah.
I'm I'm from Armenia, a small town. I'm a big fan of this dude. And then I somehow get here and happen to um, film this music video where he did it and do this kind of the same shots, and it was totally unplanned. I think that means something, no?
Yeah, definitely. It's serendipitous.
Yeah.
You know, I actually discovered System of a Down through Ozzy Osbourne too.
Hmm.
Because I went to a Black Sabbath concert, and so I see these four guys performing, one with this gigantic afro,
Yeah.
and then there's an Armenian flag on the stage, and I thought there must be some kind of a mistake. It's probably the Colombian flag. It's
Upside
flipped
down.
upside down. They made a mistake. Maybe someone should tell them. And then I started hearing little melodies that were really reminiscent of Armenian music, and I was like, okay, this is
Oh
really
yeah,
weird.
they're very ar- their melodies are incredibly Armenian in
Yeah.
a in the coolest way. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how they do that.
It's so cool. I mean, really, what they've done is genius. Actually, this is John's studio.
Hi, John.
So, yeah, so that came around full circle too. But yeah, I was a kid at the time, and my parents just took me to the concert, and we were all like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And at the time, you couldn't really find that much stuff on the internet.
Hmm.
This is aging me, but like you really couldn't just Google everything and find everything. So we started following, and yeah, it was pretty wild. So my early years of high school, System of a Down blew up, and it was pretty crazy.
Well, I remember when I went to their show in Yerevan. It was the 100 years of the Armenian genocide, and they did a free show in the Republic Square, and it was insane. The amount of people was insane.
I saw it online. I wish I could have been there, but it looked amazing.
I don't know how my parents let me go there because I was, I think, 15 again, and metal concert or can be wild, and they're like, yeah, go. And I was, I if I was a parent, I wouldn't let my kid go to that show, but it was pretty friendly and calm and all that.
What kind of music do your parents listen to?
Um, they have a good taste, obviously. Um, obviously. My mom loves jazz, and she's into old school, kind of like Ella Fitzgerald and
Hmm.
Aretha Franklin and all that.
Hmm.
'Cause she's classy. And my dad loves Beatles and Italian music and like Led Zeppelin and
So your love for rock probably came from your dad's music collection a little bit.
mm, I think yes and no, because I kind of discovered um the music that I listen to myself, but obviously hearing that had an influence on me. But I also love jazz too. I'm more into I'm less of a metalhead now. I feel uncool a bit, but yeah, I'm Ozzy is probably the only um metal artist that I listen to still.
Have you met him yet? No, I'm sure you will. That would be exciting.
I hope.
So, I hear you getting a lot of the questions. You talk about it a lot yourself that, oh, will other songs live up to the success of
Mhm.
Snap? I don't even like those questions about music because, in general, art isn't something that I think you can put numbers on. It's not, the
Mhm.
number of streams that makes it great. It's wonderful that you've had that success, but you have so many beautiful songs. How do you manage keeping that balance of your artistry and what you want to do and the industry's pressure to constantly get numbers and numbers? How do you deal with that?
I can't. I'm not in balance with that. I'm not dealing with that really easily. Um, I mean, I don't know an artist who doesn't suffer from that. It's hard, really hard, because um, as I said, I wrote Snap when I was 18. I was 22 when I got here, and people wanted Snap from me again and again and again. And what does that even mean? Like what I was writing songs on a guitar or a piano. That's how I wrote Snap, and I didn't understand what was required from me. And I also didn't agree with a lot of things. And it's always it's always hard for artists, I think, to when music becomes music industry, music business.
Yeah.
That's what's heartbreaking to me. It's really heartbreaking to me. Um, but I think honestly, if I didn't love music as much as I love it, I would just pack and go home and enjoy my the company of my parents, really.
Hmm.
But I can't, so I'm stuck.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you've reached heights that people can only dream of reaching, right? So there's that success aspect of it,
Hmm.
which is amazing, but you're a real artist and you're a songwriter and you
Thank you.
create beautiful art. And so, having to kind of merge the two where it's like an industry, because art is, the thing that makes art so special is that you're tapping into this mysterious realm. It's not a science.
Hmm.
There's a very spiritual component to it. And then so when you have a record label or producers in your ear saying, "Oh, try the hook like this because this is what sells," and make sure you simplify the lyrics because this will make it catchier for people. And then they're giving you all of
That
these
is
formulas.
that's stupid because there is no formula. That makes me so angry because nobody knows what's gonna work. If someone says they know what's gonna work,
They're full of
they
shit.
yes, and they're just lying to everyone and themselves because there is no way to know what's gonna work. Um, and that was, I think, the main thing that just kind of pissed me off when I'd write a song and show it to people, and they're like, "Ah, yeah, maybe change the chorus." Why? Because this is, how do you know that? No one knows.
What is it like working with a record label now? Because I dealt with a lot of record labels maybe like 10, 15 years ago. The industry has changed so much since then. And there's a lot of pressure on artists to actually be able to um, have success on their own, build their own audience versus the label doing the artist development that they used to do back in the day, which in a way it's better because you can organically kind of grow and do your own thing. But then they jump in and then they have a specific direction that they
Mm-hmm.
want you to go into, right? So like what is it like now, the process of actually creating music or writing an album, meanwhile working with a label?
Um, my experience was a bit different because I wasn't really um I wasn't really interacting with the label much. Um, so I guess I would only guess. I didn't really speak to them ever.
How? Is it because you
Whatever,
have a manager that's speaking on your behalf?
whatever.
Okay, got it. We're not getting
Um,
into that.
so I think right now, if you're not Beyonce or Ed Sheeran, or if you're not the the A-list artist, even if you're, even if you sign a deal, they're not going to do anything until the next big moment. And
Mm.
the next big moment is on you. So I don't know. It really, honestly, nothing changed
Hmm.
compared to obviously numbers and streams and radios and all that. Like, thank you, big thank you. Mwah. Appreciate it.
And then they organize the tours too, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, it, they kind of put fuel on something that already exists,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really hard to create sparks every time, right? And that's I think the hardest thing is when you're you did it yourself and then you sign the deal and you think, oh, it's going to be so much better, so much easier. I just get to be in the studio and write a song and then, but it's not like
Mm-hmm.
that.
No, it's on you
Yeah.
again, huh? And then so since Snap's major success started with TikTok, right?
Mm-hmm.
So was it like an influencer used the song for their video and then it took off from there? How did that happen?
Well, I started seeing streams after Eurovision, obviously, and then I think someone from Spain sped it up and he posted the something and then went viral and then the sped up version went viral. We ended up releasing a sped up version. I never
No way.
understand why people do that, but we did it and it has like 200 300 million streams. The sped up version. I cannot, it's insane. How I don't know how people listen to it because I sound like a chipmunk. Um but yeah, I think it started from TikTok and then it was all over the reels and Instagram and all that and it just kind of I think Snap has its own life now. It's separated from the parent. I let it go.
Wow.
It moved out.
But then now, when you're creating music, and again, you have to create that spark and you have to do it on your own, do you actually look at TikTok as a tool to get that kind of exposure again?
Never did, never want to, but I guess I have to.
Hmm.
I don't like social media and I never felt comfortable doing the videos on there. The only videos that I like is when I just like do an acoustic version of something and
Hmm.
that's just me singing.
Yeah,
I don't like trends. I don't know what's trending now.
which is good.
Yeah, I've had TikTok for 3 years now, actually more, but I actually never scrolled. That
Hmm.
I just posted, but I don't know what's happening in there. I don't even know how to use it
Okay, honestly,
properly.
the TikTok algorithm's actually pretty cool because when you like certain things and you start saving them, it really brings you awesome content. Because I used to think, oh, it's cheesy, it's all about the dancing
Yeah.
and, whatever. But there's intellectual content there too. It's
No,
actually
I'm
really
sure there
a great
is.
way to discover stuff.
I'm sure I don't know. I'm a YouTube person.
A YouTube
I
person.
watch podcasts and
Yeah.
or
Which
some.
podcasts are your favorite?
Oh, it's different every time. It's usually just interviews with the people that I think that are smart.
Yeah.
um, I actually watch it in Russian a lot
Oh,
because
okay.
that's my preferred language to
Hmm.
process information.
So you watch Dudes and all of those, or
Not
no?
him. Not
No?
he's for me. He's cheesy.
He is.
He's too new era. I watch Posner a lot.
Oh, okay.
He's a smart. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
I
I don't understand Russian. I mean, I can like just basic conversational Russian, but
Well,
unfortunately, I don't speak it.
he has interviews in English and in French
Oh
too.
yeah? Oh,
Yeah, well,
okay.
he's I think the smartest person I don't know that exists.
Oh,
He's
okay.
so yeah.
Yeah.
And even the stuff that I don't like, he's talking about a lot about politics and everything, and literature. I just learn things, from him. I sometimes watch the things that I hadn't have no idea about, but the way he interviews people and the way he actually is being interviewed is incredible, I think.
Hmm. That's very cool. Yeah. Back to industry, the music industry and its pressures. Do you have people who call you and actually dictate, like, now we want you to do this many selfie videos, and now we want you to do this kind of content for social media? Do you have people like that that are in your ear going to do this
Not
or
anymore.
no? Okay. Okay. But that was annoying to deal with.
Uh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Because I could see you're a very like real, down to earth kind of person. I mean, I'm very curious what's happening with you internally because you seem a little bit like an introvert. Like you're in this social universe, but you come off very much like an introvert to me. That's probably like what the is,
I mean, if you know what's happening inside me is a mess. It's a mess. It's a chaos. Always.
it's like my desktop computer, the files.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I do find comfort in chaos
Mm-hmm.
because I don't like this. I cannot be disciplined or organized. For me, it's confusing when everything is in order. I get lost because I need to kind of like
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um, and I'm also stubborn. So when people tell me what to do, I immediately don't want to do it.
Hmm.
Um, I guess that's also because of the culture that I grew up in. It's very kind of like male focused and all of that, and I always kind of didn't like when, especially I was being told what to do. Um, so I always kind of it's a trigger for me. So
Mm-hmm.
when I'm being told what to do, I lose my mind. But I try to be calm about it. Again, as I said, I don't show that I'm angry, but I am angry, even though it doesn't look like that. Um, but I think, if being serious, I wish that people on the business side would understand artists a bit more and were mostly collaborators than dictators, because um, it's just not gonna really um, lead to anything good. At least it's not gonna, mentally, for me, it didn't lead me to anywhere good. So then that it kind of became a mess. So I think if yeah, the business people just try to understand what they're working with, because you're actually just dealing with a baby. It's like dealing with a baby. It's really hard. I admire the artist who can be very professional, and I mean, professional is not the word because I like to think that I'm professional. But
More
that
pragmatic, maybe.
yes, like when they work. When they're on stage, they're on
Mm-hmm.
stage. When they're on a business meeting, they're on a business meeting. I can't do that
Mm-hmm.
yet. I think it comes with experience, or I'm just not that type of an artist. But yeah, I think and it's also um for the artist, it's never about the money. I'm talking about the real artists.
Mm-hmm.
Money is good. I love money. Um, but when your goal is not the same, right? When you're kind of the product for the product in the room, but for you, it's the life.
Yeah.
It's not just a song that you put out. It's something that you've experienced that made you sad, that you felt, and you wrote about it, and it meant so much for you. And when you're, for example, you're in a business meeting, you're like, listen to this demo, and they're like, yeah, how that creates misunderstanding, and I think, yeah, I think they could put a little bit more effort into understanding
Hmm.
the artists.
But it's also why they're not artists. It's why they're on that part of it because it's just I think it's a different mechanism completely.
I mean, well, there's a lot of creative people working on the business side, but again, yeah, I don't know. It's
Yeah, it's really hard and everyone deals with it differently. I mean, Gautier with somebody that I used to know. It was such
mm,
a massive hit. It was such a beautiful
it's a great song.
song. Gautier's song was just groundbreaking, and he hated the spotlight and he wanted to
He
just
did.
not have
I didn't
anything
know about that.
yeah, he walked away from it.
Mm.
I mean, he totally could have capitalized on the fame of that song, and he was just like not wanting to have any part of it.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah. Well, we never know what the real reason was.
Yeah, of course.
Um, but I honestly, I totally feel that. Um, before the whole snap happened to me, um, I used to also not judge, but I would have some opinions about how artists um do things or how they react to certain things or whatever, blah 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 blah. Now I am just like I get it. Zero judgment.
Yeah.
Literally zero
What was
judgment.
one of those moments where you kind of were perplexed by it and then you started to understand it?
Um the whole just like changing the direction of their music
Mm,
or um disappearing and then coming back again.
yeah.
And I was like, why would you disappear for like 3 years? Couldn't you write a great song? You're obviously talented and blah blah blah. But that's stupid to think,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah,
you
and
never
the
know what's happening in
the
their
reason
mind.
I hate all the questions that they ask you about, like, oh, are you afraid of being a one-hit wonder? Are you afraid of any songs not living
I
up to
am.
Snap? Or,
I
well,
am.
you shouldn't be because you're a great artist and it really doesn't matter. And the thing is, there's so many things that go into something becoming a hit. It's almost like winning the lotto. There's such a big
Yeah.
component of luck to
Yeah.
it. I remember Enrique Iglesias, I watched this interview with him. You know how there was that whole Latin movement, and
Hmm.
for a minute it was like the trendy thing. Shakira, Ricky Martin, Enrique Iglesias, they were all just topping the charts. And then when that trend went away,
But then he
Enrique,
came back though.
8 years later,
Yeah.
8 years later,
8 years is not a long time if you think about career wise.
for the artist who has that pressure to perform and suddenly,
Yeah.
I mean, he was talking about people not picking up his phone calls anymore,
I
and I
feel
was like,
that.
oh, but see, it's so fucked up if you have to learn to not internalize it, and I think that's so hard. It takes a long time to be able to detach because like you said, it's still you're that person. It's not just a business to you, it's very personal. So then I just thought it was so messed up. So for like 8 years, people aren't returning his calls, and then he comes
But
back
how
with that
insane.
song.
Like, how disrespectful is that?
Oh,
How can you do that? That's what I really hate about music industry.
yeah. Hmm.
I hate it.
Yeah.
It's disgusting to me to prioritize people judging by trends and stuff, or what's on Billboard right now.
And if they could use you in that moment or not. Because when
Yeah.
he's topping the charts, he's useful to a lot of people. And then if he's not in the public eye on the same level, and they can't use him the way that
Mm.
they need to for their TV channels, for their products that they want to promote, for whatever, suddenly it's just like, okay, on to the next big thing.
But I think it was the reality, and it is the reality, and it's gonna be the reality. I don't think it's gonna change.
No, which is fine as long as you don't internalize it and you can emotionally detach yourself from it. Otherwise, it becomes so toxic and you have to
That's the thing.
protect yourself.
That's the thing that I'm kind of jealous of, because there are some people that can detach from it.
Quick break to thank one of the sponsors of today's episode, MX Motor Lounge and Leasing. I've personally used their services for both leasing and buying a car, and they truly made the whole process seamless. If you're in Los Angeles and looking for a friendly, knowledgeable team to help guide you through your next vehicle purchase, look no further than this award-winning local dealership. Visit MX Motorsports for more information. That's EMEXMOTORS.com. As long as you're conscious of it, your feelings eventually catch up to it. But you really have to, I think, tell yourself that. Because there are people who will genuinely always care about you, and then there are people along the way that are just using you for how you can
Yeah.
help their careers and how you can help them get ahead, you know?
Yeah. But it's very disappointing. I'm also I'm not a fan of people in general. I got disappointed in them very early in my life. So I'm kind of done with them. But still, it shocks me how we are, and I'm not just I'm that way too. I'm also disappointing myself sometimes. But it's just our nature that I really don't like. And you can't change it, and it really bugs me. Like, I think about it a lot. And I have other things to think about, but I sit down and think about how people are bad.
But honestly, then there are people who just surprise you and they're so great. And you're like, wow, okay, this exists too. So
Yeah.
it just kind of brings back your confidence in humanity a little bit, you
Yeah.
know?
You kind of just gotta what I've learned in these 3 crazy years, that I just filtered a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
out. There's maybe 8 people that I talk to, and maybe only 3 that I talk to daily. That's it. Am I too sad? Is that
No, not at
I don't wanna
all.
be negative.
No.
Life is great. I don't hate life. I love people.
I always think about that too because everyone comes from their own experiences, how they talk about stuff. And I'm like, "Ugh, I talk a lot of shit about Hollywood because we bring our own experiences into it, right? So, I've had really wonderful experiences in Hollywood, but I've also come across a lot of toxic people that know that you have a dream and certain ambitions and they want to take advantage of it. You know, they
Mhm.
prey on you for having that, and it's really frustrating. So sometimes I'm like, "Oh, I hope I'm not coming from a really negative place," but that's why I wanted to create my own little world here. Because this is something that I don't look to make money from this. I don't look at this as a business or an industry. I feel like it's just fun. I really love people's stories and triumphs, you know, learning how people overcame difficult situations and um there are always people along the way that tell you things are impossible. And if you're actually able to not listen to them and to
Mhm.
go after, just chase whatever you want to chase, I think that it's so interesting to hear people's stories about that. So I think it's cool to just have this conversation, if even if we are being a little negative, well, whatever. That's it sometimes.
I'm honest.
Yeah, at least it's honest. But okay, what are some of your favorite parts? Maybe like surprising. Let's go on a positive rant. What
Okay.
are some of the really great things you've discovered about LA, Hollywood, this industry bubble?
Industry bubble. I met a lot of wonderful people here. Um, and I get to be friends with some of them. Um, and they're creative, from a creative side, obviously. And they're incredible. I mean, um, my favorite thing, I think the thing that I really enjoyed wasn't really the tour or just being on cameras and like have the numbers. It was um being in the studios with this like geniuses and incredible people that wrote like some of my favorite songs, and I got to write with them or work with them.
Who are some of
Um
those people? Who are some of your favorites that you've worked with?
oh God, there's a lot. I got that was incredibly insane for me. So Diane Warren, who wrote "Don't Want to Miss a Thing," my favorite.
Yeah.
Um, I got a call from my manager, and she said Diane Warren wants you in her studio. And oh, I was like, okay, great. Um, and then I went there, and she showed me the song. I'm like, what is happening? And I sang the song, and she started crying, and it was beautiful. It was great. So that was like a moment for me. I got to work with Dan Wilson, who wrote Adele's "Someone Like You." It's insane. And my favorite, who I'm friends with now, Rick Knowles, who wrote all the Lana stuff, and Stevie Nicks, who I'm such a fan of her. And I don't know, like all these people that I would listen to the stuff that they wrote when I was a kid, and I fell in love with music because of those songs. And then I got to work with them. How can I not love them? How can I not absolutely adore these people?
That's
Right?
so beautiful,
That's
yeah.
the best part of, I think, coming here and having all the successes, to um get to even just like touch or talk to, or like, I don't know, to talk to these people who created something that I absolutely adore, and it's my favorite music, and music is my favorite thing in the world. So
Mhm.
how can I not go insane? And
Totally.
it's yeah,
I've
it's
actually reached
incredible.
out to Diane Warren about doing this interview. So,
Really?
yes. So, Diane, Diane is really good friends with my friend Cindy Cowan, and
Hmm.
Cindy's an amazing film producer who I've interviewed before. So yeah, I met Diane at her house party, and she has to be on this show one day because I think she's amazing too.
She's great. I mean,
Yeah. So, how do you define success? What is success to you, for you personally in your career?
success for me would be um my top. Okay, what I would not feel terrible. I would stop feeling terrible about my career when I get to do my own stadium tour. And that was always the thing. I don't want the in betweens and stuff. And I wanted it when I was 12. I want it now, and I'm going to want it till I die. And I hope it happens. But um, success doesn't usually go with happiness. So I don't know. um, because I'm thinking about it a lot, actually. Because I got a little bit taste of that success, maybe 10% of what I actually want, and I really didn't have the best time of my life having that success. And I think everyone just wants to be happy.
Oh yeah. Some of the
So
most successful people I've known have been some of the most miserable
yeah,
people that I've known.
yeah, and I think it's all. I mean, being a person is already hard. Being a creative
Just
person,
being alive is hard.
yes, but you just, I was always melancholic all my life, and I don't know, I just kind of I live with it.
Hmm.
I'm used to it. But sometimes I just sit down and I'm like, why am I not, how do I become happy?
Yeah.
You know, why am I always just like in my head?
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. Success is stadiums, happiness is internal harmony. I hope I'll get both.
I'm sure you will. That process of self-doubt, I think it comes with all artists and anyone doing anything creative, doing anything new. It's something that's really hard to overcome. So, you know.
I was watching something the other day. Again, a podcast of someone smart. And I don't remember who that was. But someone said, he was like a painter, and he said, I'm always unhappy with what I create, and I always feel um, doubt about it. And someone else told the person that when you stop feeling that, you're gonna stop creating what you create. And I don't know if I agree with that 100%, but that's something to think about,
Mhm.
you know.
Definitely.
I think because then you lose when you start liking everything, you can't be objective of your work, and you kind of start relying on someone else's opinion about your work.
Yeah. Definitely being able to maintain your own vision. Um, Again, that's where the industry comes in. It's really hard, like, to not let them and their ideas interfere with what you're authentically producing and what's
Hmm.
authentically yours.
Honestly, though, what really, and I think it's something that I hope every artist would um, do is, or at least think about. Every time I did something that felt unnatural, it didn't work out.
Mm,
But I did it anyways because, again, I don't like conflict, so I did it. And it's about songs, it's about what you wear, it's about what you post, it's about everything. And every time I did, not every time, but the things that I kind of came naturally, only those were successful.
mm,
So I'm just kind of trying to, obviously, you need to, again, play the game a little bit and not be completely this I'm an artist, that's how I see kind of thing.
yeah.
Um, you have to be smart about it, but I just, I'm trying to teach myself to not fall into the trap of this is trendy now, get
Oh,
this, and be
totally.
successful for 2 years and then
For
absolutely
sure.
hate
And
your
trendy
life.
is not timeless.
Yes.
That's the thing. And some of the most incredible music that we listen to now, that we listen to, 10 years later, 15 years later, it's because they weren't trendy. It's really hard to listen to trendy sounds because
Mm-hmm.
immediately it sounds dated. So when you're not following some mainstream trend and you're doing your own thing, I think longevity wise, you have a much better chance at being successful.
Well, I think the whole thing, and this is not, I'm just starting to think about it, so I might not agree with what I say after I say it, but
I always say that too. Yeah.
I think it's not about the genre of the music. It's not about the melodies. There's no again, there's no formula or anything. I think it's about why people love music or art. It makes them feel something.
Mhm.
So it cannot make them feel anything if you're not feeling what you're performing.
Totally.
So it really doesn't matter the genre or the whatever, the style of it,
Mhm.
the visuals and stuff like
Mhm.
everything. It You just need to do everything to make people feel something.
Totally. I mean, going back to Gautier again, would anyone have thought that somebody that I used to know would have been such a massive
Hmm.
hit? Would anyone have predicted that? It didn't follow any of the rules of what were hits at the time.
And it's really funny because um I I posted something the other day, a song that I wrote like 6 years ago or something. It just kind of, I keep going back to it because I really like it. And my brother asked for that song, and he never, like, he just never talks about my music. He doesn't want anything from my music. He's just whatever. He texted me. He's like, "Can you send me the recording? Do you have a recording?" I'm like, "No, it's just a voice memo on my phone." He's like, "Send it to me." And I was like, I guess it is a good song then if my brother likes it. And he never, I mean, it's not that he dislikes my songs, but he just never kind of, he never asked for anything.
Yeah,
Um and a lot of people and a lot of my friends, they keep asking for songs that I sing for them, and they're usually the ones that I think are not radio friendly, or they're not blah 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 blah, but
Mhm.
they're the songs that I love the most, and it means something. And I
Yeah.
wish the industry people could feel that.
I remembered what I was trying to remember to say a while ago. That is what I do love about social media and the internet, that it has democratized the field a little bit,
Mm.
where you don't have to totally follow the industry. If you believe that it's a good song, you do have your own means of putting it out now. And if it resonates with people, great, you know. But at least you don't have to rely on the industry to actually put out your art now.
Yes and no. Um, Again, I think the big game is still labels, all that, lots of money. The whole Snap wouldn't be Snap without a label. It would be very successful,
Hmm.
but it wouldn't reach 1 billion streams. S-
How would it only reach 500 million?
Would I prefer that and having all the masters? Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. But 1 billion is good. Um, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Well, you're saying that it's not the internet isn't enough. You still need the machine
Yeah, and
to reach that level. But
also I
again, that's why
think,
I ask, what is success to you?
yeah, success is, it's still the stadiums.
Hmm.
Stadiums with the music that I want to sing. That's success.
So you don't think that's possible to do without a record label?
I don't think it's impossible, but I think it's more possible with a label.
Wasn't Lana Del Rey one of the first independent artists who reached a pretty high level of fame without a record label?
I honestly don't know the how she became famous. I absolutely love her. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed. I
I think that was an
maybe
interesting part of her story, that she was an indie artist who became super
I
famous
think
without
she,
the machine.
yes, but I don't even know if she's with the label. I don't know.
Mm,
I know her music. That's enough. I don't
yeah.
follow the I don't know anything about her,
Mm.
honestly, but the music.
Yeah, see, for me, it's always interesting to know all of the unconventional routes that people took to success. So that's why I don't remember the details of her story, but I remember that standing out to me and me thinking, wow, okay. So now
Well,
it's possible.
again, like you can be very successful um independently because of social media, but you can't really get to like the level of Ed Sheeran and like
Hmm.
Taylor Swift or Adele.
So that's what
It's
I am totally ignorant about now. What exactly does the label do? Is it the distribution, that they're able to give your music wider distribution than you would be able to do on your own? Is it commercial placements? Like what
it's a
is
bank.
it's a what?
It's a bank.
A
It's
bank.
lots of money
But put toward what?
toward um making people believe that they love the song. It's playing it and playing it and playing it again everywhere and
Yeah.
paying everyone to play the song everywhere so that people think that they love the song.
So when I hear Snap at the Americana,
Hmm.
that's your label.
Probably.
Okay.
Or a fellow Armenian who loves it. I don't know.
When I'm at the Americana, I seriously want to like stop by the fountains and start applauding every time I hear your song.
I
I'm like,
actually
oh,
never heard it in Americana. I also never go
go
there.
to the Americana.
Um yeah. No, I honestly, I don't want to be rude or anything, or I don't know if I'm supposed to talk like this at all, even. But um, yeah, it's money. It's always money.
No, that's what we want. The raw truth, honesty. Well, speaking of raw truth and honesty, I asked you about the positive aspects of the industry, and for you, that was you collaborating with some of your favorite songwriters. Now, some of the most toxic ew parts of the industry for you. What were the most like shocking moments or shocking things that you've encountered?
Uh, God. I'm
You're
trying
like,
to
which one should I tell you? Because there's
yeah.
so many.
I'm trying to think of something I should talk about. Because there are a lot of examples.
Yeah.
Um, I think in general, again, people not uh, taking the time to actually think about your feelings. A lot of people, again, not taking their phone calls or whatever. I'm not even calling because I know they're not gonna pick up, so I'm not even calling because I'm too proud. Um, um, I felt like I was a like a bag of potatoes at some point that they were trying to sell in the market.
Why potatoes and
I
not
don't know.
like
Or
tomatoes?
tomatoes. I felt like a product.
Yeah.
Um, and a lot of people are fake. Oof. I'm I genuinely am sick of everything that's fake, and I just couldn't I don't know how to communicate with people like that. I immediately don't know how to, and I think again that's a weakness for me because I have to deal with everyone, and I immediately just don't know how to start a conversation with them or start talking about my music because I'm this person literally they're taking a meeting because they have to take a meeting, and then they're taking another one or they whatever. It's really disgusting when again music becomes business. It's something that for me is um, the most important thing, and it's something um, holy,
Hmm.
and you mix it with something completely opposite. But you can't make it without mixing some dirt
Hmm.
to it.
So it's like
That's really heartbreaking for me.
tainted love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's hard. It's really hard dealing with a lot of people in the industry who don't necessarily care about the artistic aspect of it. And you really just feel like it's a commodity. And, that's the way that it's looked at.
But there are not everyone is a monster.
No,
There are no monsters, but I think
there are some
anymore.
monsters. No, no, no. There are still some
Okay.
monsters. Or
Well,
you mean after the Me Too cleaning thing? Or,
so I think it was worse before. Definitely.
yeah,
Um,
it definitely was worse before.
but there are people um who actually like music because they're also everyone listens to music,
Yeah.
and when you touch someone with your music, they kind of treat you differently, and I really appreciate these people too. Um, but very few.
When you were talking about the fake aspect of the industry, I actually learned about this term that I had never heard of before. I had heard of being an introvert or extrovert, but apparently there's something called being an ambivert, where you're actually social with
Mm-hmm.
people that you like and you feel good being social with friends and family and people that don't drain your energy.
Mm.
But then when you're in situations like these meetings where you feel like they just have to take the meeting with you or it's just not a positive environment, it just drains you to
Mm-hmm.
be around these fake people. And
Mm-hmm.
I've really felt that. I've felt that sometimes when I have to go into industry meetings and you're talking to them and you're having to do the whole, positive interaction and pitch, yourself or your product or whatever you're doing. And then I get in the car and, like when you just can't even put music on, you can't even talk to a friend, you just feel completely drained and depleted.
Vampires. Yep.
Vampires, yeah.
But I'm, I totally feel what you're feeling because I'm very sensitive to people's energy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and when it's not right,
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
Like
And then
sorry,
go ahead.
um, even some of the good even the good people can be vampires.
Yeah,
Like even I have some friends that I need to make effort
totally.
to. to to be around them.
Mhm.
And I don't know, after honestly, right now I'm so happy with having 10 people in my life and be just,
Protecting your
yeah.
energy and your space.
Yeah.
Yeah, because with some of the fakeness that Hollywood brings, there are also people that ask you, "Oh, how are you?" And they're not listening to your
Oh
answer.
yeah.
And that's something that we've talked about with quite a few people that I've interviewed too, that it's just, you're not always in a space where people are interested or they care. And that's where, again, like it's just being able to have that protective shield of not letting all of that get to you emotionally. And that's when it's easier to be in the industry
Mhm.
and to like really take all of the positive things from it, without draining
I
your
really
own.
wish it was just plain and simple. Like, I really wish we could skip the stupid small talks. Like, honestly, if it was just business, like you're there, you
Hmm.
deal with the business people,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Let's
Like,
not
you
do the, "Oh
go
my God,
there,
you're so
yeah,
gorgeous. Hi, how are
discuss it,
you?" Yeah.
let's hate each other,
Totally.
let's love each other.
Yeah.
I don't know,
But
whatever.
let's
Like,
not
just,
pretend
yeah,
the in between.
the fakeness of it and like the little games that you're playing, because in the end of the
Yeah.
day it really doesn't matter the if you're nice to someone, if you're not nice to someone,
Mhm.
if you're gonna make money for them, they're gonna do the work,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna do the work.
Hmm.
That's it.
That's
I
it.
really hate that. Oh my god, oh my god, your song is amazing. And
Yeah,
then
and then they
they
don't pick
forget
up your
about you.
call the next day.
Yeah, if it
Yeah,
was like that, I'd be like, yeah, let's go. Because
yeah,
let's just honestly sit, discuss some whatever
totally.
numbers and stuff, and then go home. Done.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
the small talks and stuff, I don't know how to do that.
totally. But
Yeah.
even with my best friends, I tell them I hate, like, don't do the hi, how are you? Just get straight to the point. What are you doing at 5? Do you want to have coffee or do you want to have dinner?
I just show up.
Straight. Without even
I
the
just
call.
show
Yeah.
up in my
Knock,
PJs
knock.
at my best friend's spot. I'm
Perfect.
like, and it's 11 p.m. and it's fine because that's how my friendships are.
Yeah, yeah, it's just totally
They know
straight to
that,
the point.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Before, when I was in Armenia, I wouldn't even call, or they wouldn't even call me. They would just knock on the door,
Yeah.
say, "Where's coffee?"
Where's my coffee?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
late.
brought some chocolate, and
Totally.
it's fine. Right here is,
Here you have to drive an hour to get to ask someone for coffee.
yeah.
I know that you have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with LA too. It gets a little lonely here.
It is very lonely, and that it's very lonely, lonelier than it was before. Because before I got to work and work and work and work and work. Now it's calm, but I officially do not hate LA anymore. I love LA.
What changed?
People,
Yeah, that is what changes any place and makes it
yeah,
feel like home, right?
yeah. Also get used to things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm less scared, lost, or I know how to navigate
Yeah.
these waters.
Did you have the same experience as me? Um, Getting to work with some of my idols. I think I subconsciously always created these images of them where I thought they were just always perfectly flawless in
Mhm.
their craft. Like they make no mistakes, they're just on air and they're immediately perfect. They say all the right things, they do all the right
Mhm.
things. And actually getting to work with some of my idols, I realized, oh, like he fucked up there and he totally didn't care. He just moved on and he wasn't embarrassed by it. And it was totally okay. And I started realizing, why do I have these expectations of myself to be perfect all the time? It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to suck. It's okay to get
Mhm.
embarrassed. And then you move on and you always grow from it and you're always in a better place after.
You know why you need to doubt yourself always? Because your idols already they have nothing to prove.
Well,
I
I
mean,
don't feel like you have anything to prove at this point.
no, there's a specific example, almost specific example. When I wrote with a lot of people that are, you know, trying to make it, or, you know, somewhat successful, and then people who actually carry the industry on their shoulders, right? And when I was in the room with like the giants, right? Um I was never nervous, but when I always um I always would go to the sessions with a mindset that I know that I'm cool. I know what I can do. They don't know it yet. And I'm going to them because I need them, right? I need their talent, their mind, their brilliance, everything, right? They could do without me. There's a lot of artists like me who go to them. So um when you go to a session with that mindset, you don't get um offended or intimidated when they criticize you in some way, right? Because they don't know your abilities. You're just a young artist. Great. Cool. Amazing. Congrats. Snap. I know a lot of people and a lot of young artists who are like, oh, I didn't like the session because blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no. And that's when I started thinking they have nothing, like, they have nothing to prove. They're already the cool people. You need to prove them, you need to show them that you're also cool, so then you can start working.
I will bet you anything. I will bet you anything that they don't internalize that and go, "Oh, I'm already cool. I don't have anything to prove." Most of the
Yes.
time, they don't.
Yeah. Yeah, but
They have the same doubts and
yeah.
they just have a different level of pressure of, "Oh, I still have to stay relevant. I still have to prove that I've got it." And
Mhm.
I mean, they all have different kind of self-doubt. And I think it's great to be self-critical and to be able to self-reflect, but at the same time, like if I were you, I would just be like, "You know what? I'm badass. I don't need to prove anything at this point because I have accomplished something really great." And then, from there on, I feel like you're in a space where you don't have to doubt your abilities because I
Mm.
don't think that anything will be measured by the number of views anymore. You're a great artist, you're a great songwriter. So from here on, I think you just have fun.
Thank you. Um, self-doubt is good though. A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like drowning in intimidation or something, yeah.
In that way there is a balance. Like sometimes I wake up and I hate myself cuz I can't write something, but then it's all of a sudden I have this idea and then I start writing and it's great, and but you can't really control that process.
Mhm.
So it's always like it is a very like a touchy thing for me because when I can't write when I want to, I really do hate myself. I feel like nothing. And then when I write something, I go, oh, it's good. It's good. But then it's like I'm either a bomb songwriter or I'm nothing. And you can't control it. So there is, I wish it was there's some kind of in between.
Mhm.
Because it's really hard. It's like this it's really chaotic. It's like
Mhm.
you don't know what mood you're gonna wake up in.
Totally. And I'm sure some of the artists that you admire the most will say exactly what
Oh
you
yeah.
just did
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
But I think that's what kind of gives you the permission um to be okay with, again, like not feeling like you're, maybe at your best level of productivity. Um Actually being able to say, "Hey, that's okay." For me, that was hard because I was always a perfectionist and I thought, "Oh, I didn't perform that well," or, something had to be, Why wasn't I smart enough to do this? I should have done this earlier. I should have done this better." I would be so self-critical that I think it was paralyzing.
Mhm.
instead of actually just being able to give yourself the permission to suck a little bit until you learn how to do it and then you grow. And hey, that's okay. That's a natural progression. And I think it's so important to actually give yourself the permission to do that. And I didn't do that until I actually worked with some of my idols and got to see the reality of their own struggles.
But
And I was
they
like,
also suck sometimes.
which is awesome. That
Great.
made me love them
Yeah.
even more. I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa, this is so cool,
Yeah. But sometimes for me, and again, we only see
The
the
perfect product that gets
yeah,
put
we
out.
only see the songs that got released and they're
Yes,
great.
totally.
So when you work with these people and I've had that a lot. Jesus, that's like the hard that I'm finally over that feeling, but I would feel terrible when I was in the room with someone who was a great songwriter and it didn't work out. I
Hmm.
was like,
Is it just maybe the chemistry's not there?
no, the chemistry was everything was there,
Yeah,
but but it just didn't work, and I was like, maybe I'm not that talented, maybe I'm not that good, because like everything else was just perfect, and yeah, I had a really hard time getting over that.
but then it's also so many things have to, like, you have to kind of transcend into the right space that day. You have to have woken up on the right side of the bed. You have to be in the right mood.
Mm.
Like every little detail will change how that
Yeah,
process
but
will
these things
go.
you can't control,
Yeah. Well,
and
because
so
it's not a
yeah,
science. And I think
yeah,
that's the beauty of it, right?
you just need to keep doing it until it happens.
Yeah.
Like I had no idea that Snap was gonna be Snap. It was one of many songs that I wrote about that period of my life.
The heartbreak that you've
Yeah.
talked about. I'm
Mm.
not asking you about it because you've talked about it in
Yeah,
every
a million
interview, but
times.
he still doesn't know it's about him?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Do you think he's figured it out all
I
this time
don't think
later?
so.
No? Did he have an
He keeps
inkling?
asking me.
He keeps asking if it's about him?
No, who
Oh.
it's about. Is it about this person, that person, or that person? And in my mind, I'm like, oh God, how could I fall in love with someone this stupid?
Should we get to follower questions?
Let's do it.
What people asked? She has been teasing songs from her album for over a year. When is the album coming?
Hopefully this summer.
That question was from Kian DJ. So, next question is, do you have a specific routine or place where you feel most creative when writing music? Marietta.
If I'm writing alone, no. It just depends if I'm inspired or not. But when I work with other people, I really appreciate liking them. Like I want to like the people that I work with. If I don't like them, it doesn't feel good, so I'm not really productive.
Do you always collaborate on music now, or are there things that you just don't want to collaborate on and you do on your own?
I stopped when I first moved here. I stopped writing alone, which I used to do all the time because I was always writing with people and, meeting them, meeting producers and songwriters. And I stopped for about 2 years and it felt weird because I couldn't go back to writing alone
Hmm.
because I also thought that I can't write good stuff alone because when you work with people that I've worked with, um, after that you feel like, what can I do alone? But I started writing alone last year and it felt great because I thought I saw the growth after learning so much from everyone, a bit of it from everyone. And it does feel great, but I do um love writing with the people that I really love. I prefer that than writing alone because writing alone I can't control it, but with them I get inspired from them and it's faster and it's easier.
Hmm. Okay. Next question. Can you recall a time when you found hope in a seemingly impossible situation, even if it was just a 1% chance? The theme of this show. What inspired you to act?
My life feels like this whole thing
Yeah.
seemed impossible. Um, I don't think there was even a 1% chance. It was 0.0000001% of me being here and actually doing what I'm doing. But what inspired me to act is the fact that I couldn't just not do it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I yeah, s- sometimes I regret it because it would be so much easier to not be in music. But again, I love it too much. So
If you could go back to that space where you placed 20th in Eurovision and you could talk to that younger self, what would you say, knowing everything that you know today?
I either would not say anything, not to change anything, that
The butterfly
yeah,
effect, yeah.
or I would just say be less stupid.
Why stupid?
Oh, I was very stupid in a lot of things. And just I should have stood up for myself more.
Against whom?
Whoever I needed to be.
At that time,
Yeah.
post Eurovision chaos?
Post and before, honestly,
Hmm.
in life.
Yeah.
Again, back to the conflict, the fear of conflicts. Because of that, I just like stay silent,
Hmm.
and yeah, it's not healthy, not good.
Do you think that's the biggest lesson throughout this whole process to be able to stand up for yourself instead of avoiding conflict?
Probably, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I uh, I made some important decisions that I should have made way earlier. Um, and I was always afraid of the consequences. Because I knew what the consequences are gonna be. But I think the biggest kind of step that I took was just realizing that it's gonna be hard, but still doing something because change needed to happen. And I'm proud of myself for that.
That's great. Do you have any regrets?
No regrets.
And what do you feel like has been your biggest accomplishment? What are you most proud of? What's most special to you? Not just on paper.
Hmm. Um, getting the validation from people whose opinion um matters matters to me. I think that's what I'm proud of. Um, I think that's the biggest thing for me. Not that I need validation.
But it feels
Sometimes I
good.
do. It does feel good.
No, it does feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, I really think it's important to not look for external validation. You have to know your own worth and blah, 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 all that good stuff. But at the same time,
You need validation always.
especially from like key people that you respect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's not many people that I obviously I respect everyone's opinion, but in very few people can convince me that it's bad. Because I write for first of all for myself because I listen to what I write. I don't want to sound like an no, but I really love there are some songs I really love that I wrote. And I also like my voice. So I listen to it, and first of all, when I like something, when it's my vibe and like I enjoy listening to it, the whole world can tell me that it's a bad song. I'm still gonna enjoy it. So for me, it's a good song.
Mhm.
And then if people like it, they like it, and usually the things that I like um, are actually um, turning out to be liked by everyone else. Not everyone else, but my friends or whatever. I'm testing some songs, and it usually works.
Mhm. Mhm. Is there anything you would like to talk about that we haven't covered?
Ooh. Um. Yeah.
Tell me.
Well, I think a lot of people. I get a lot of um comments or messages from people saying where you've disappeared and why are you're not releasing songs and everything, and um I just want to say I'm still alive. I'm here. I do write. I do sing. I'm working hard. There are just some things that I'm figuring out, and hopefully in near future I'll be I'll be all done with that, and I will put out the music that I want to put out.
Oh.
Not that I don't, not that I'm not proud of the things that I've done, but um, I just I'm being very patient in this process, and I'm really asking for the people who are waiting for the music to be patient as well, because um, there's a lot to figure out.
And great things take time. It's okay.
Thank you.
I didn't even realize you disappeared because I follow you on social media.
Well, I'm
I
trying not
see.
to make it seem like I did, but I kind of did.
Hmm.
Well, you can't compare it to when I first moved here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still making music. That's the most important thing.
So, what's your number one goal now?
My number one goal is to finish the album, uh, find the team that I need, and kind of get back to being productive and inspired and excited about um, the career. I think that's the most important thing.
It's been so lovely talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming and um I could seriously talk to you for hours and hours and hours.
Aw,
You're very
me
fun to
too.
talk to and it's interesting to get your insight on the industry. I think you perfectly embody the message in this podcast because coming from a small town, coming from Vanadzor and just like jumping into this industry. It's such an incredible story that you have, and I think you're handling it. You're so young and you're so mature. You're handling it so
Thank you.
beautifully. So I hope that you'll continue to be confident and do all the wonderful things that you've been doing.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yay.
I
Hooray.
seriously could have gone for another 2 hours.
Me too.
Short break to thank Arutunian and Associates, one of today's sponsors. This law firm specializes in working with social media influencers, bloggers, and on-camera talent, helping them navigate partnership contracts with major brands like Google, YouTube, CoverGirl, and Sephora. Their expertise ensures your rights are protected in every deal. Visit arutunianlaw.com to learn more. That's ARUTYUNYANLAW.com. A huge thanks to Torpedo Comics and Essentia Beauty Spa for helping to make this podcast possible. You've probably seen Torpedo Comics in your local malls, but you can also visit them online at torpedocomics.com for an amazing selection of comics and collectibles. As for Essentia Beauty Spa, their beauty experts are truly unparalleled. I trust Diana, the founder, with all of my hair needs. She's simply the best. For more information, visit essentiabeautyspa.com.
If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to follow, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Your support helps this channel grow, allowing us to bring you even more engaging and high-quality content. You can also follow us across all social media platforms.